All right, welcome back everyone. We got a 2011 Santa Fe. I think it's got a 3.5 in it. So customer stated that the oil light has been coming on and it's got an oil leak. So first thing I did, check oil level's fine. But yeah, let's start this up and I'll show you what's going on with this. Put it in gear here. So we got an oil light that kind of blinks on and off. She also stated that it makes noise while driving. She thinks maybe just the tires, but she wants me to drive just to make sure. So I have a feeling that oil pressure is going to be from the sending unit itself. It's probably leaking, and that's the cause for the light and probably the cause for the oil leak. It looks like the oil leak, from what I saw, is coming from between the engine and transmission. And on these, that oil pressure switch sits right underneath the intake manifold. So I'm going to take it for a drive first, see if we can hear this noise, and then get it up on the hoist. I don't know if you can see that trail, but that is oil. And there's a puddle of it. So you can see it dripping right from between the engine and transmission there. So at first I'm thinking, is it a rear main seal? But now I'm thinking, with the oil pressure light being on like that, I wonder if we just have a failed sensor and it's leaking oil. So I guess right now what I'm going to do is call a customer, probably pull this intake manifold off and see what's going on with that oil pressure sensor. Put my eyes on it, see if it's leaking. Okay, it is the next day. We left off yesterday getting the approval to remove this intake. Let's dig in, remove the intake, and hopefully we see that sending unit leak. All right, so as you can tell, we got the intake off here. There is a lot of oil down in there. I'm hoping it's coming from the, get you down in here. There's the oil pressure sending unit right there. You can see there's quite a bit of oil sitting in the bottom there. And if you look real close in this corner, there's actually a little hole in there, just kind of a drain hole. I kind of expected this to be more of a mess the way it's leaking here. I did kind of check this oil filter housing right here. This oil filter housing kind of attaches to the pressure ports down here. And the drain back, it looks really dry up there. So I guess let's pull this connector off and just see if there's any oil sitting in here. Try to do it with one hand. Yep, that thing's full of oil. I don't know if you can see down in there, but that once I pulled that connector off, she is full of oil. It's dripping onto the connector. So I think we found our problem. I don't think this is a rear main or oil filter housing. Light's never in the right spot. So yeah, I think it's just the oil pressure sending unit. Let's put that in. We're gonna get all this cleaned up in here and run it for a good long time and see if anything leaks. I think we should be good though. Let's get that replaced. Okay, so there's the sending unit there. It's kind of a pain in the butt to get any kind of wrench or anything on. 24 millimeter or 15/16 is kind of where we're at. I'll show you kind of what I think is gonna work here. You gotta kind of put your socket in. This is a 24 millimeter deep socket. We gotta kind of finagle it in there. But you can get on it with a swivel. I think we'll probably have to pull the sensor and everything out at once. I don't think you'd be able to get your socket off with that backed out. All right, there's the sending unit there. Like I said, it is full of oil in there. Real confident that that is where our leak is from. Got the new sensor here. I'm gonna try and start this first, but I may have to put it in my socket and try to do it that way. I'd like to get it started in the threads first and then get my socket on there. So we'll try this. All right, sensor started in there. Let's see if we can get this finagled back in there. And she doesn't quite want to go. There we go. Just don't want to break the plastic portion of that sensor, but it will turn in far enough where you can get your socket back on there. Of course, that depends on what socket you're using, I guess. Some sockets might be different. This is a snap-on one. Don't need to get it super tight. Hey, look at that. Our tab's even at the top. I'll get our socket back out of there. All right, I'll get this all cleaned up and we'll start putting it back together. she's all put back together here. I just want to start it up, let it run for a little bit, make sure we don't have any leaks. We'll be taking it for a test drive. Let's kind of want to pay attention to this oil pressure light that was on up here, flickering. Check engine light was not on before, but I had the key on with some connectors unplugged, so I'll have to clear the codes on this. So far I don't see that light. Of course the engine's cold. Let's put it in gear. Still no oil pressure light flickering. So I think we're done here. Again, the check engine light was not on before, but I had the key cycled on when I was screwing around with stuff, so we probably got a false code there. But yeah, this does it for another one. Thanks for watching, and please like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.